A few weeks ago, director Greg Dennis gave us this tip.
So my top tip is to always use a top handle.
That's really great advice. But before you can use a top handle, first of all you've got to work out what to attach it to, which is where the cage comes in. Before I go any further, I figured this is a good juncture to nudge you towards pressing the like button. I think that's what helps people discover this channel and the videos that I'm making. And if you'd like to as well, you can subscribe. It's free. Thank you. Some cine cams, like the FX6 I'm recording with, has the option to attach a top handle directly to the camera body itself. But with a mirrorless camera like this Sony A7SIII, that tends not to be an option. The FX3 is a bit of a hybrid, halfway between a cine cam and a mirrorless camera, and on that you can attach the top handle directly to the body. But again, with this you can't. Now you can mount some top handles directly to the hot shoe on the camera body, but I've always steered clear of that option for some reason. I just don't quite trust it. I'd be worried that it might somehow work loose, or I could apply too much force and somehow open up the metal surround on the hot shoe and damage the camera, which that would pretty much suck. The best option is to put your camera in a cage, and then you can mount the top handle securely along with any other accessories you want, and it's a much safer, more secure option than mounting the handle directly to the hot shoe. When the A7SIII first came out, pretty much the only cage around was the SmallRig full cage. I've been using SmallRig stuff for 2 or 3 years and I've always been impressed with its quality, but lately it seems like they're spending more energy on R&D and design because their products are a lot slicker. Their quality's always been good, but in previous years sometimes the design was a little bit, I don't know, almost agricultural. But now they're slick, nice chamfered edges, no excess materials, and they're really good kit. But yeah, the full cage was the only show in town, and it was good, and it was very secure. It attaches to the camera base plate with a standard 1/4-20 screw, and it also has an extra screw that attaches through the strap lug on the right hand side of the body, meaning this thing is locked in. There's no movement whatsoever. One thing I did find though, even with the full cage, there wasn't quite enough room to fit all the accessories I typically run. I normally use a monitor, a video mic, and a top handle. And there's just not quite enough room. If you're still keeping one side free on the cage on the body to hold onto with one hand, you can't quite stack all these things together in the right order to make them fit. I'm sure there's workarounds. Often you could mount the microphone on the side of the monitor, but that looks a bit exposed. Yeah, never quite worked it out. The downside of using a cage that is so securely fixed to the camera is that if you have to remove it, it is a bit of a faff and it's a bit of a slow process. Like if you need to take your camera in and out of an underwater housing, for instance. Enter the half cage, also from SmallRig. This actually came out about a month ago, but I saw it teased on their Instagram page ages ago and pre-ordered it, so I've had it for a while now. Like a lot of SmallRig stuff, it's reasonably inexpensive at about $50, which I think is the same as the full cage. The downside of using a half cage over a full cage is that there is just a little bit more flex between the cage and the camera. And when this thing's fully loaded up with a monitor, a big Sony battery, a mic, you do sometimes notice that. The other thing is, with only one point of contact on the camera base plate, this thing does twist around a little bit if you put too much force on it. But I can definitely forgive it, because it does make taking the cage on and off and making the camera usable in the underwater housing much quicker and easier. One thing worth noting with the full cage is it does kind of get in the way of the record button. Not something that can't be worked around, but a bit inconvenient. My workaround for it was to get a handle that had a record button built in. This handle connects directly to the camera's multi-port, and then you trigger record from the handle, which is kind of great. So that's pretty much the bones of it. If you need to take a cage on and off quite a lot, the half cage is quite a good solution for you. If on the other hand you need a super steady, secure platform that the camera's not going to move at all in, then a full cage is the right choice. You probably could have worked all that out for yourself, but sometimes it's just nice hearing someone confirm your suspicions, especially before buying something. I've put links to both cages in the description below, and if you haven't done already, it's just worth checking out SmallRig stuff in general. Like I said, it's really well made, it's an open and quite a comprehensive ecosystem. They make cages for most popular cameras on the market at the moment, and their stuff's just good. It makes making video a little bit easier, so worth checking out for that alone. Anyway, that's me done. If you've got any questions about full cages, half cages, top handles, feel free to ask in the comments. Anything I don't know, I can ask Greg, he can tell me, and then I can tell you. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And of course, thank you for watching. Bye!